What's up, guys? Briar Rabbit here, and today we are doing the Beastly Thoughts Show. We got the Beastly Gamer himself, right here in the stream. We are live, and let's get into it. I have to make sure that this is actually live.
Take your time, sir. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys had a good week. Got a lot of stuff going on in the gaming world. Want to kind of hit on it and get some feedback. You know, get you guys' ideas on the potential future of what's going on with these consoles. And there's been, like I said, there's been a lot going on. We got some big Nintendo news. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys want to hear our thoughts on that.
I can't believe how big this news is. I'm not even sure that it's not a rumor. Like I'm really skeptical about this news. But I mean, if it's true, it's so good.
Well, the thing is, we've been talking about this a lot. Like the last episode of the Beastly Thoughts, we hovered over Nintendo for a majority of the whole show. And that was something that we all talked about, was the potential of Nintendo bringing a new console out because this Wii U was doing so badly. You know, they lowered their sales expectations from 9 million to 2.4 million. That's a huge hit. And they've announced their third year in a row of losing money in the console war, while at the same time they're doing a lot better in the portable realm with the 3DS. But if this true of this Nintendo Fusion, and then the Fusion DS is true, and the specs that they're talking about are true, it's going to be some amazing stuff that Nintendo's coming out with. The thing that kind of got me a little bit was the fact that it is a rumor, but it came from a Nintendo website. And the website, it specified so many details on these consoles.
Yeah.
The CPU, the GPU, the RAM, the button layout, all this stuff. And it's not April. So I would think of any April Fools.
Yeah.
To me, I'd rather be an optimist and think this is probably a future endeavor that they're embarking on now, rather than continue to get hit below the belt with the Wii U.
Some of the really notable things that I saw in the specs were, well, one, before even we get into specs, they talked about how they expect the two systems to be really integrated, and that's even shown in the name of the system itself as Terminal, where it will be the base unit, and the DS, the new Fusion DS, would actually communicate with the Terminal. Hopefully what that would mean is that if you buy a game for the Terminal, you can play it on the DS. You know, you can bring it with you. Also, they talked about having a coaxial cable or a cable card input into the terminal. So this would actually become your cable box, which is a step further than what Microsoft did. Microsoft will just control your cable box using infrared, but it doesn't actually become your cable box. And I find that to be fairly interesting. Again, I'm not a cable consumer. I do have cable internet, but I don't have cable TV. So that wouldn't be super useful for me. But, man, it's cool that they're kind of thinking outside the box here. They're bringing in a bunch of new ideas. They also talked about how that you would actually be able to charge your DS on top of your terminal. It actually have inductive charging.
Mm-hmm.
So that really kind of puts together, you know, bringing the two systems together. I think that's a really, really good idea. You know, your DS experience isn't complete unless you also get the terminal, and vice versa. Now, if they also brought in all their back catalog and did a subscription service for this, I mean, you got a winner on your hands, no doubt about it.
Definitely. I think Nintendo is more than likely learning a lot during this generation. They've made a lot of mistakes, and there's been huge public outcry, people crying foul that the Nintendo Wii U is just not a good console. The sales have been low, the games have been low, the support from third parties has been terrible, and a majority of that is Nintendo's own fault by having a superiority complex when it comes to their own consoles and the games that are on them. They've always had this personality like, you know, we make the console, now you just make games for the console. And that's where our partnership ends. And a lot of companies don't like that kind of partnership. They want to be more integrated into what's going on with their games. And it looks like they're learning a lot. They got this Fusion Terminal, Fusion DS combination that will be 2-in-1. They got it integrated with cable, which is taking a step further than Microsoft is. So it's like they're picking up, you know, everyone's slack. And on top of that, the specs for this thing outshine the Xbox One and the PS4 by far. So
Yeah.
it's like they have this new idea that they want to win on all fronts. Now, if this is real and this console has the specs that they're speculating on, this thing is going to be it's going to be head and shoulders more powerful than the Xbox One and the PS4. Now, if you take their back catalog into account when it comes to a system that has that kind of power, the future's bright for Nintendo if this rumor is reality. I hope it is, because right now we're living in the reality that is the Wii U.
Yeah.
So to me, this is just great news. Hopefully Nintendo can come out on the record hopefully within the next 6 months, hopefully, and either confirm or deny these allegations. But like I said, these rumors actually came from Nintendo's own website. So there has to be a little bit of validity there. And also, when you think about like the rumors of the PS3, the PS4 and the Xbox One, the rumors before the consoles came out, at first they were just saying, hey, look, PlayStation is coming out with a new PlayStation console, or Microsoft is coming out with a new Xbox. They didn't have any specs. But when they started speculating on the specs, what this thing's going to have inside of it, a potential touchpad. I remember they came out, with the PlayStation controller, the artist renditions and the things that they heard through the rumor mill was that the controller had a touchpad, and they were talking about the Xbox One being an all-in-one box that connects and integrates to your cable. Once they started getting these little tidbits of information out to the masses, I felt like, okay, they knew a little bit more. The fact that they have all this information on these Fusion boxes, to me, is a lot more than just conjecture. I think there's more to it. It's almost like, you can't just say they might be making a console, but these are all these specs. There's tons of specs for both of them. So I think that there's a little bit more truth to it.
I've heard it theorized that it might be Nintendo themselves leaking this stuff. They realize that they got a bad public image right now. They just released their financials and it went horribly. They downgraded how many consoles they're planning on selling. Hey, what if we start talking about the future? What if we start talking about this console that's just going to be this Halo system that everybody's going to want? I think it could be Nintendo making this. It could be just a complete rumor too, but it could be just somebody made this up. But if Nintendo leaked this, I see why they did it.
Well, if they did leak it, thoughts are things, really. Like, when you want something, in order to get it, you have to visualize it first. So Nintendo, they've been down in the dumps for so long with this current gen console that they may want to, if they did leak it. Imagine this: we're going to leak a console that is perfect in all areas, and then we're going to see the public reaction to it. If people go nuts over it, we're going to start building this console. We're going to do whatever it takes to actually build this thing, so that we can bring this to the masses, especially the people react. Like, I think everyone who heard about the Fusion reacted positively, because nobody wants to see Nintendo do bad. Nintendo has some IPs that truly harken back to the old days, and to see them actually move forward with them, do new things with these IPs, with a console that's graphically and as far as horsepower can outdo the PS4, who's not on board with that? So I think it's a good thing. Hopefully it is true. I'm an optimist. I like to hope that it is true rather than think that it's all rumor. We'll just have to sit and wait and see. But I hope this information is real, because I think it'd be good for all gamers.
Yeah, absolutely. I want Nintendo to succeed. In the past, I've kind of said, well, it'd be nice if they started making video games for other consoles. But I almost think it's better to have as many consoles out there as possible. I know that it can be hard because, you want you might want a game that's on PlayStation 4, but you also want a game that's on Xbox One, and you also want a game that's on the Fusion, let's say. And it can be hard because, I don't have $500 to spend on each one of these consoles. But, competition makes these companies hungry, and I think that's basic. In the long run, I think that's good for the consumer. And don't forget, you don't have to play games when they first come out. The game remains the same 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road.
Yeah, I think getting them when they first come out is really kind of an iffy situation unless you're hardcore like us.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you ask me, the PS4 I think is a great console. I think the Xbox One has a lot of potential. But right now, if I didn't have the money, I probably wouldn't be trying to get either one of them, because there's not any definitive game that game that makes you look and say, I have to have this thing right now.
Yeah.
Not for either one of them. They got some beautiful games, but to me, there's nothing that really, you see it on TV, you see a commercial, and you say, oh, God, got to have it. They got some coming out this year. Infamous Second Son, I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be amazing. I think Titanfall is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And if that was like a release title, I think, potentially a lot more people would have picked up Xbox Ones. But right now, with the games that are released, nobody was, saying, oh, God, I have got to own, well, I guess a lot of people did say Battlefield. But to me, that would have been a defining game. But, like, any of these games that came out initially during release, to me, they were not fire starter games.
Yeah. Although I have had a lot of fun with the games I got at launch. Call of Duty Ghosts I thought was a really significant improvement over the 360 version, which I had been playing. The colors were sharper. It just felt smoother. Everything about it just feels better. The DualShock 4 is an awesome controller, so it's just fun to play on the PlayStation 4. And I think that graphically it's an upgrade over the 360 version enough so that it actually affects gameplay. So I was really excited about the COD 4. Battlefield 4 I was really excited about too, and now that it's running, I've been having a lot of fun with that too.
I haven't even been back on Battlefield 4 because I've been playing my PC games. I went on and put a few hours into Slender, the Arrival. I'm actually playing my PC games with my PS4 controller, with my DualShock 4.
Yeah, I've heard that works. How do you like it?
Oh, man, it's perfect.
Does it connect via Bluetooth, or do you have to plug it in USB?
You plug it in USB, or you can do Bluetooth. But I haven't messed with the Bluetooth on this computer. So I got a real long USB, so I just play it that way. But I've had a lot of fun with it.
Do you hook
playing
the
that,
PC up to your TV?
Yeah, it runs on both because sometimes I record footage for future news and updates. But that game is real scary, man. You should give it a shot.
Yeah.
Also, I've been playing Outlast and Amnesia. Part 2, something with the pigs, but I've been enjoying that. I plan on getting into my PS4 this week for sure, but I got a few things I want to beat on my PC first.
Yeah. Did you check out Super Motherload on the PS4 yet?
No.
I think that's a PC game as well.
I downloaded it, but I haven't had a chance to play it. Whenever something comes out, I go ahead and give it a download, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Have you tried it?
Yeah, I played it for the series. I do a weekend update. I try and play something other than COD. Just kind of, just to have a little bit of fun with the video. And I love that game. It is super fun. I ran into a weird situation. So the big news on YouTube this week is the Machinima and Microsoft deal, which we talked about what we want to talk about in the pre-show. I totally forgot about this one.
Yeah,
and I know you made a video about it. What's that?
That was the biggest news. Yeah, I made a video about it. I think you did too, right?
I didn't, because I didn't know how I felt about it. I wanted to kind of let that one marinate a little bit. And it's funny because as that was all going down, I just happened to make this weekend update video, and I got a tweet from the makers of Super Motherload like, "Hey, thanks for the plug." I was like, "Oh, that's weird. That's cool that they would tweet out the YouTube video. It's like, hey, that's kind of cool that the studio who made it would promote the video itself." I thought that was nice. But then I was like, it wasn't really a plug. I was just playing the game, So, as this whole YouTube drama's happening with people getting paid to promote the Xbox One, that was just kind of give me another perspective on the whole situation.
So, do you think it's a good thing or ethical or what that Microsoft has been doing?
On Microsoft's side, I can't say that. I don't think that they're to blame here. Machinima probably is, and definitely a YouTuber who accepts money should say something about that. If you're gonna
be in the video description or something.
Yeah, if you're gonna get sponsored, this is the thing, right? Though, is that the people who make YouTube videos aren't necessarily journalists, right? They haven't gone to school for journalism. They haven't gone to school for ethics. Somebody offered them some money to make a video saying that, hey, you like Xbox One. And the guy's like, well, I do like Xbox One, especially if they're going to pay me to say it. So, it's hard to get super mad at a YouTuber who, definitely his ethics were compromised, but this isn't the Wall Street Journal. I think Machinima has a real problem here. Machinima, by making these contracts, and especially the part where they said in the contract, you can't say that you're getting paid to talk about the Xbox One here. that's a real big issue. I think Machinima, really the blame here falls on Machinima and the YouTubers. You know, the YouTubers are going to lose some credibility here, but
you know me, I just have scruples, you know.
yeah.
Jacket Turtleshell, he's networked with Machinima, and he actually had the opportunity to do this. But he's more like I am. He's more of a PlayStation guy. But this is the way I see it. If the contract itself states that you have to have at least 30 seconds, you have to have footage of a game within the first 30 seconds of your video. You have to mention the game. You have to mention the Xbox One, and you cannot say anything disparaging about the Xbox One or Machinima. Now, that kind of leaves the possibility of being honest out the door because nothing's perfect. And so if you're reviewing a game or if you're playing a game, you have to say nothing but good things about it. You can't tell your subscribers that, hey, look, I'm getting paid to do this. This is part of a paid advertisement by Microsoft and Machinima. And it kind of leaves people out in the woods because people watch YouTubers because they value their opinions. People watch YouTubers because they value their honesty for the most part. And so if you got someone who's getting paid to basically push a product or make it a product pure good without being honest with the pros and cons, it kind of stabs the subscribers in the back with a lack of honesty. That's my problem. Now, me personally, I don't have any issue with people making money. They get $3 extra off every 1,000 views. That's not that's a good thing. But I think that every YouTuber who took advantage of this promotion should have at least had information in the video that I am getting. This is a part of a promotion.
The real problem here was the way that contract was written. Is you couldn't say that you were getting paid to make this video. So the YouTubers who saw that contract should have never signed that contract. If you read that contract and saw that language in there, then you should have never signed it because it's, I mean, on the surface it's completely unethical. So, you just should have never signed it. It never should have been. It never should have crossed Machinima's desk as well. Machinima should have seen this and be like, we can't put our partners in this position. We cannot. We'll devalue our brand. We'll devalue them if we start, these kind of contracts. And so I'm glad that it got aired, right? I'm glad that this issue hit kind of publicly because I think it will keep this issue from happening again. Hopefully, I think that anybody who sees this kind of thing in the future will say, "Whoa, I'm going to back away from this because, I don't have a problem promoting your product." As long as I could say this is a paid promotion, right?
Yeah. I totally
agree. If it's under covers and in the cover at night, then it's completely unethical, and you shouldn't touch it with a 10-foot stick. But at the same time, if you're 15 years old, are you going to really know that? You're going to sign that contract. You're going to put up your video, and Machinima was going to say, "Hey, wait a minute! You can't say that we paid you to make this." And what's that 15-year-old going to do? He's going to take that video down. He's going to edit the video so that he complies with the contract. He's going to put it back up.
Well, the language of the contract does say that you cannot say that it was paid for, but I think they should still say it was part of an advertising campaign. That's what Microsoft called it, an advertising campaign between them and Machinima. So I would have tried to, at least let it be known that it's an advertising campaign by Machinima or by Microsoft rather than losing all my credibility or a lot of it with my subscribers, because the YouTubers who actually take advantage of this thing, what do their subscribers think about them? At this point, especially if they find out that these guys are playing a game that really isn't that great and trying to put a fresh coat of paint on it to make it appear better, just so they can get extra money from Microsoft and Machinima. I mean, to me, that's no scruples. I prefer to be broke and honest.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just me, man.
Yeah,
I prefer to be broke and honest. Hey, did you hear about these new bundles coming out? These Xbox.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I think that's pretty cool how two different companies are teaming up to make one bundle or two bundles.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. That's actually how I found out about it. On Bethesda, they tweeted out that Claptrap sent them a letter in the mail.
Yeah, that's funny.
They actually had a letter. It was pretty funny, and wanted to collaborate with them. And so they are releasing Skyrim and BioShock.
Mm-hmm.
and they're also releasing. Oh, God, I can't remember now.
That's a hell of a bundle. Skyrim and BioShock. That's a
Two huge
lot of
games,
gaming enjoyment, and it's like $30 for the two of them, right?
$29, and Borderlands
That's
2, and
unbelievable.
there's another one too. I'm just trying to remember. Hmm.
Is that
But I
going to
know
be retail only?
okay, it's Borderlands 2 with Dishonored and BioShock Infinite and Skyrim.
Yeah.
$29. It's coming out, I think, February or March. I know it's coming out real soon. I just can't remember the date for my video. But I
Is
think
that
that's
going to be
great.
is that going to be retail only?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do believe I didn't hear anything about downloads,
Yeah.
digital versions. But if you don't have these games, this is what you get. I mean, you get two of the biggest games, to me, I'm talking about the Skyrim and BioShock.
That's the
thirty
big one to
dollars.
me. Dishonored and I can't remember the other one.
Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2. That's not as exciting, but Skyrim and BioShock, if you haven't played those games, this is an unbelievable deal. You get hours and hours of awesome content for $30.
Skyrim's amazing. I love all the Elder Scrolls games. I remember the first time I played Oblivion. When I really got into it, I was done. I think I stayed in my room for like a week. Came out feeling like I conquered the world. But
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is though, on the Xbox 360, I think Skyrim was multiple discs. So I'm trying to see how they're going to do this on the Xbox 360 to have both of them in a pack. It'll be like this thick.
Yeah.
I know the
Looking like
I think the PS4 can probably squeeze them. I mean, PS3 can squeeze them together on a disc. It all depends on how much they take out of it.
yeah.
But that's a hell of a deal, man.
Maybe it'll just come like a box set, like the two games plugged together.
Yeah, well, the images that I have of it actually shows one box.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, with top of the box being one game and bottom being the other. And I just think that's a hell of a thing to have, especially in this day and age, where a game like Skyrim, if you never played it, if you never gave it a shot, please do. And on top of that, BioShock Infinite, please give me a break. That's a must-have.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite gets a lot of hate now. Last month a lot of people were doing their Game of the Year lists, and I saw a lot of people talking about BioShock and saying, we liked it, but there was this problem, that problem, this problem, and I guess I had my problems with it too. But overall, I felt like it was a really positive experience, and I really had a good time with it. And I'm surprised, like, it doesn't seem to have legs. Like, after all that excitement, it doesn't seem to have the legs that I expected it to have.
I haven't really heard anybody doing too much bad mouthing of that game. I think it was the best one in the series, period. The story, the environment, the characters, Elizabeth, I think that game really stands on its own. I've heard so much positive talk about it around Game of the Year 2013. I really haven't heard anything negative, so you got to pick better friends, Brian Rabbit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm all to podcasts,
Yeah, I think that game's amazing. I think it deserves every accolade it's gotten. I think.
So what else have you been playing? I wanna hear what you've been playing. I know you've been on the PC a lot. What games besides what would you say?
I'm playing Soul Sacrifice on the Vita.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that game. What's that game?
It's an RPG, and it's in the vein of God Killer. It's a game on PSP that is very, very popular in Japan, or Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay, Monster Hunter. I know
It's
exactly
something
what that
similar to that, but it's a 4-player co-op experience. So if you got 4 Vitas like we do, you can all get together and play it together. It has a high difficulty level. You're getting items, finding loot, and killing demons. But it's pretty good experience to me. Especially when I'm not at home, I always have to have a handheld with me. And if it's not my 3DS, it's got to be the Vita at this point, or one of my PSPs, which I haven't played those in years. I got 6 of those.
Oh man.
But I'm doing that now, and I'm going to be getting Borderlands. I think Borderlands 2 comes out on the Vita March 6th, I want to say.
That's an interesting thing. I don't know that I'd be interested in playing that game on a portable.
I'm excited to see how they implement it.
Yeah.
I know graphically it'll probably be almost as good as the console version, but I'm more concerned on how the multiplayer component is going to work, because if you're playing multiplayer on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, you have access to tons of people. I wonder how they're going to do that here. If you can actually play with people on other consoles, or if it'll just be the diminished PlayStation Vita community. But either way, I think it'd be fun. I love first-person shooters. I love Killzone Mercenary on the Vita, which to me is probably one of the top 2 best games on that console.
I think it's dirt cheap on PS Plus right now too.
Yeah. I actually went and bought them all retail as soon as they came out. Beastly Gamer is just so stupid for not waiting. But I got that, and me and Kate, we just destroyed that game. Loved it. I thought the mechanic, the controls, the graphics, which I have to say are as good as a PS3 game, that game blew my mind. And so having that one great first-person shooter, and then thinking about something like Call of Duty Declassified, Black Ops Declassified.
Oh man, that's so disappointing.
Do you have any idea how happy I was when they announced it? I thought I was going to lose myself.
I was gonna buy that console and that game day one. I was absolutely on board.
As soon as I saw the trailer,
I saw a review come out. I was like, I had the money ready. Like I was ready to go. I saw a review come out. I was like, are you kidding me? It's that bad? And then more reviews came out. I was like, oh, like I was so disappointed.
It was made by the same company that made the I'm trying to remember the name. The Resistance game that came out on Vita, which didn't fare too well either.
No.
Graphically, it looks extremely dated. There's 4 versus 4 multiplayer. I think my son Brett, he wants it, so I'll probably end up grabbing it for him. But
I heard it's awful. Like even the controls suck. The maps are like cut down from the Black Ops 1 multiplayer maps, so they're not even like the full Black Ops 1 maps. I don't know how they get off. I was hoping that Ghost would come out for the Vita, to be honest with you, and that didn't happen. There was a rumor it would.
Well, I think if they were to make one on Vita, Ghost is kind of big, so the game would probably suffer some loss. I think if they did Black Ops 2 on Vita, I think that would be huge.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
The maps are just the right size for a Vita to hold, because it's a 8 gig memory card basically is what the cartridge is. So I think they could probably squeeze all that in on into 8 gigabytes, and it could be probably a close conversion. But I think Ghost is so big and expansive that you would lose a lot of it through the conversion process. But any good Call of Duty, I don't care which one it is, just make a good one for the Vita.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vita is.
Or just port any one of the consoles like faithfully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Vita, the hardware it can run these games easily.
You know what I had tried to do when I first got the Vita is I tried to remote play Call of Duty Ghosts on it. That didn't go well.
Oh, really?
I tried to play a little multiplayer, so I was playing on the PS4, but I was using the Vita. That was not a good experience.
You had latency issues, didn't you?
It doesn't take much latency to get smoked in Call of Duty.
Because the frame rate, even though it looks smooth to you, you're still a few frames behind everybody else.
Yeah.
So by the time you see them, they've already seen you, and you
know
see
what'd
them.
be awesome is if they started re-releasing the older Modern Warfares for the Vita. That would be badass. So like Modern Warfare or COD 4, Modern Warfare 1, re-released for the Call of Duty for the PS Vita.
And everybody would buy it. Everybody would buy it. I told my wife one thing that I wish that the makers of Call of Duty would do, that they probably never will, is to make like a definitive version of Call of Duty that has no single player, but it has every map from like 4 games.
Yeah, with the rule sets in place from that game, from the game. Yeah, so like if it's a Modern Warfare 2 map, you're playing with the Modern Warfare 2
weapons
perks and the noob tube and like all the annoying shit is still in there,
That would
those
be
games
awesome.
are gonna die. Those 360 and PS3 games. Eventually, Activision's gonna say, okay, we're cutting off the servers. Everybody's playing the new games on the PS4 and the Xbox One. And in all honesty, COD 4 is pretty much unplayable now. You get on there and you almost can't find a non-hacked lobby, with people just raining kill streaks in and flying through the air,
You talking about on the consoles?
Yeah, they're totally hacked.
Oh yeah, the memory hacks. Yeah, I used to hate that crap. I haven't seen a hacker on Call of Duty in so long. I forgot they even existed.
Yeah, I've gone back and tried to play Call of Duty 4 and 5. What's World at War? World at War is particularly bad. It's just there's literally like people who are invincible and they're flying through the air, and it makes the game completely unfun.
I'm gonna have to stick that in so I can check that out, man. I haven't seen any of that. You know, every now and then we like to go back and play like Black Ops 2. We like to go to Modern Warfare 3. You know,
Mhm.
just to see some of those old maps that we used to love, like Dome. You know, I just want all these good maps to be together on one game. I like, you know, what was it in Modern Warfare 2? The airport? What was it?
Yeah, yeah, the
Terminal.
air terminal.
Terminal.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
brought
I
that
mean,
back last year for Black Ops. No, for Modern Warfare 3.
I think that needs to be in everyone. I think it just turned it into something else. But
That
I
was a
really
great
enjoyed
map.
that map. You know, I don't know. What do you think about these new maps that are coming out?
I'm excited about it. You know, I play a lot of Call of Duty. I'm always excited about new maps. I think that, you know, if you're lucky enough to get some time to play those maps early, you have a significant advantage for about a week because you get all these people coming in. They don't know where they're going. They're running around like baby buffalo, totally clueless, and you're just popping them off. And your KD can go really up high fast.
So Onslaught comes out on Xbox One on the 28th, correct?
Yeah, yeah, Tuesday.
And I know you'll have it.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'll be buying that day one. I actually made a video where I was talking about how I've been playing PlayStation 4 almost exclusively
I
since
saw,
December.
and now you got to
Since
play on the Xbox One
now it's going to be Xbox One. I
because they
mean,
get the
because I'm going to
DLC.
get the Call of Duty DLC, and then as while that's still exclusive on the Xbox One, Titanfall is going to come out in March. So there might be a brief window where the PlayStation 4 has the DLC, but I mean it'll be brief because then I'll be on Titanfall. And Titanfall, I can't wait for. So Xbox One right now is my console of choice.
That's what's up. That's good. Now, when you go into this Onslaught, do you plan on turning into Michael Myers before anybody else?
Oh yeah, I thought that. I know a lot of people are hating on that Michael Myers thing. I think it's really inventive. I think it's really funny.
I
You
think
know,
it's great.
why not throw a little bit of comedy into these things? You know, I think it's kind of fun. Have you heard that when you get that Michael Myers suit, everybody on the map hears that Halloween music?
And that's going to be very foreboding, especially
I
for people playing against you. They're going to get in a lot of trouble.
can't wait.
Now I think what they did with Michael Myers is they repurposed the Berserker, correct? So
Yeah, yeah.
basically, gave you that, and I'm guessing you got a lot of armor on, and you can run around real fast, knifing people. That's going to
Yeah.
be seriously fun.
With
I
an
think the
axe,
level
you
looks
got a
great.
freaking axe.
Yeah, you got this big bloody axe. Yeah, I think that's going to be really funny just to see Michael Myers run anyway. I've never
Yeah.
seen him do that in any movies. So it's going to be a whole new experience that scare the hell out of somebody, see Michael Myers running at them.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I've never seen him run in a movie. You
And
just
he
kind of
doesn't run, so he's going to break character just this once
yeah,
and haul ass to kill people as quickly as he can. I think that this can go really, really well for for the guys making the game,
yeah,
especially if they're able to pull out some other characters. I made a video about it. It doesn't have to just be Michael Myers. It could be other horror characters. You know,
yeah.
Hellraiser. You got Freddy Krueger. They've already put Freddy Krueger in terrible games. You know, and also it could be action heroes. Can you imagine like 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger with a gun running
Yeah,
around
that'd
shooting
be
people?
awesome. Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo, Stallone,
Yeah.
Commando. I mean, if they're
Double
able
O
to do
Seven
that,
finally gets his
yeah,
golden eye back on.
yeah. Can you imagine that? You know, there's so many opportunities for them to do unique things with it, and adding more than just the Berserker, kill streak
Yeah.
to actually give someone something truly unique and a new way to play. I think it'd be great. I mean, it's 2014. There's a lot of new stuff going on. I'm pretty sure they're probably already hard at work getting something like this for the next DLC. So
Well,
let
they
me
got
see.
for each map in this DLC, they have a specific kill streak
Kill
that you can
streak.
earn through the what are they called? Those packages, the strike packages.
Yeah, I think once you accomplish your kill streak, you get it. And but I think Michael Myers is the only one that actually changes you, correct?
Yeah, that's the only one that changes you. But like, you can set off a nuke on one. You can get a barrage of
A strike
artillery
from
from the warships that you see on the
yeah.
side of the map on another one. Every map has like a very new specific thing. I think that's what they were planning on for the whole game. I think that similar to Strike Zone, where you get a brand new map after you call in a strike. I think that's kind of what they were planning for Call of Duty Ghosts, and I think they just didn't have time to implement it, which is sad. I'm also excited about the new gun. I really love the Peacekeeper in Black Ops 2. I was really disappointed when I found out that they weren't going to introduce a new gun in every DLC for Black Ops 2, and I'm glad that they're doing that for Ghost, and I'm glad that this gun is kind of 2 guns in one. You get a sniper rifle and an assault rifle.
Yeah, that's kind of unique. It's kind of like the same thing that something similar to the gun that you have in Killzone Shadowfall. You know, you can actually pull it out and shoot further. And
Yeah, okay.
It's something kind of similar to that. I think it's going to do great. I'm just curious as to how long the PlayStation 4 owners have to wait.
It's usually about a month.
Okay, 30 days.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys can keep that 30 days. So it's coming out on the Xbox One first, but I'm guessing the 360 will get it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Xbox and 360 on the 28th?
Yeah.
I wonder how much money Microsoft paid for that.
Oh, it had to be a ton because they've been doing it for years. I think,
Wow.
Did they start it with Black Ops 1?
Yep. First DLC
So
on
Black
Xbox
Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, and now with Ghost. And Ghost is a big one because it's going into the next generation. So if you're a huge Call of Duty fan and you can't wait to get that DLC, then boom, it's Xbox One for you.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt the Sony fan base a little bit, especially for the guys. How you doing? Hi, Janet.
Beastly says hi.
For the guys who can't wait, yeah, it would be Xbox One time. Luckily for me, I can. I got so much other stuff going on. But definitely let me know how you like it on the 28th.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see your first footage of Michael Myers. To me, I'm just really excited to see how that perspective plays out because they don't show you in the trailers. I want to see what happens to you and exactly how it feels. These new maps are going to be great to get used to. They're going to be smaller maps, which is something I'm really looking forward to. Initially, you remember when Ghost first came out, you and I talked about this. I had a major issue with Ghost because of how big the levels were. You did tell me, and it permeated in my thought process for weeks, that it would become much better once you get more familiar with the landscape, and I did. And once I started playing the game more, it really started feeling more like Black Ops 2. It's, you know, of course there are more vantage points.
Yeah.
You know, for enemies to see you, but you do become very familiar with the terrain. You kind of know where to look, and it just became easier. But I'm really excited about these medium to small size maps. It'll kind of even it out a little bit. It'll add more variety rather than have a whole bunch of huge maps. I mean, even a map as big as Nuketown would be fun. You know.
Oh yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Nuketown got old for me because we played it in Black Ops 1, and then it came back in Black Ops 2, and it was the most popular map in Black Ops 1, and then it again was the most popular map in Black Ops 2. So I got a little sick of Nuketown, but I wouldn't mind seeing something Nuketown-like in Ghost. You know, something just like massive action all the time. When I first started playing Ghost, my gameplays were like they were hitting the time limit half the time. You know, but as people have gotten used to the maps, now you know where people are likely to be camping. IEDs need to be patched, but you know you can find your way around them if you pick the right loadout. I really like Ghost. I know it's not the most popular Call of Duty, but I'm really enjoying it.
I mean, honestly, I can't say it's nearly as bad as I thought it was. I honestly still think Black Ops 2 is a better game.
Yeah.
You know, for me because it was just so in your face so fast. The action was so fast paced. Now it's a little bit more lethargic. You know, you take a little bit more time with it. But I think as time goes on, especially as these new map packs get released, that it'll probably bridge that gap for me. But
my biggest problem with Black Ops 2 was that the way the camera worked in Black Ops 2 and the way the lag compensation worked is that there were just so many times when you're on a good kill streak and then you get killed like from behind a wall or like you're well past a corner and you just get killed randomly. It feels like just because the game, the net code on the game just was not good enough. Call of Duty Ghosts, the netcode is much better. I really appreciate that because when I die, I feel like I actually deserved it. I don't feel like I was cheated out of my death.
Yeah. That. I honestly do know exactly what you're talking about. There are many times in Black Ops 2 where I go, what the hell just happened? Mm-hmm. You're in a room away from everyone else and you die, and it's like no way in hell that the person knew where you were. Or you make a corner when someone's shooting at you, you get 3 steps past the corner, and then you die.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen any of that in Call of Duty Ghosts, so yeah, the netcode is definitely better there.
You start shooting somebody who's not even looking at you, and then you're already dead, and you see in the kill cam they were looking at you, they saw you before you even saw them.
Yeah, it's almost like 2 different worlds almost.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear about this whole situation with the PlayStation 4s with the save error? The
Yeah.
error?
Is this a problem with the hard drive? Is it a hardware issue or is it software?
They're saying it's a hardware issue because it happens anytime any game gets a hard reset, you get the same error, and it doesn't matter what caused the reset. So what's happening is once after the hard reset, people go back into their console and their save files are corrupted, and they lose all their save data. Well, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, I talked to quite a few people that actually happened to. I haven't
Really?
heard much from Sony since they came out on the record and said they're investigating it. So more than likely they've already pinned this situation down. But from what I hear, it affected thousands of people in the U.S. And they lost their save data, and Sony had to come out with a cleanup crew to get that thing taken care of. That's one thing, man, about getting consoles new. When a new generation begins, you're going to have situations like, and it's not over, guys. It's not over. I'm just telling you the truth. There's going to be more stuff happening with the Xbox One, more stuff happening with the PS4. So you got to get used to it until they actually pin down their hardware. It's new hardware. They got to learn how to control it, how to optimize it, and we're going to have these issues. There are going to be save issues. There's going to be system failures. And that's just part of the deal when you get a brand new console and a new generation.
Yeah. We didn't know about the Red Ring of Death for what, probably 6 months until after that thing released? Maybe a year?
I believe it or not, man, here it is right here, actually. One of my PS3s, I got 5 of them. One of them just got the yellow light of death, man.
Yep.
Heartbroken.
Yeah. Was it one of the original ones? Like
Yeah,
the
it's
old
the
school
original
big
fat.
fatties?
Yeah, it's the big fat one sitting right here in front of me. I'm actually going to get it repaired. I could do it myself, but I'm not a tech-savvy guy when it comes to actually hands-on. I don't want to break anything because
Yeah.
you gotta put new heat pads, thermal pads, and everything on there. So I got a guy who's going to actually go back in there and fix it up for me. I was supposed to take it to him today, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. So
I
yeah,
had that happen. You would have saw me have a blow dryer actually. He's shooting heat into the PS3. All I wanted was my COD 4 disc back. It was in there. I couldn't get it out because the damn thing it had that yellow light error. So I'm sitting there with a blow dryer trying to blow hot air in there to get that thermal grease just spread out enough so I could hit that button. It
Were you never
worked.
able to get it out?
Yeah, it worked. I was able to get it out, and then I brought the PS3 to GameStop, and they gave me I don't remember some amount of money for it.
Hey, babe, I'm going to need your hair dryer. Yeah, I think Heavy Rain's in there. I keep Heavy Rain in there. You know, my kids, they're just now getting to that age where they're liking this kind of game, appreciating a story. But yeah, I think that's in there now. Let me try to see if it'll come out. And no, it blinked blue, blinked yellow, and then turned back to a blinking red. It's great.
Yeah.
But I got another working PS3 right next to it, so I'm not in a hot rush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the first time it's ever happened to me. I've had 3 Xbox 360s. I've never gotten the red ring of death on any of those. So I consider myself pretty fortunate. But this PS4 is my original. This PS3, I'm sorry, is my original. So it's almost a decade old, man. This thing is old as dust.
Yeah.
You know, it's got like dinosaur fossils probably on the inside of it. And
Yeah, I was in a similar situation to you with Xboxes. I had so many of them around the house because I used to use them for media streaming. So, the Xbox 360 eventually got cheap enough that it was a viable thing to buy a couple of them. I want to play, maybe I want to play a game in the bedroom, and I also want to watch some HBO Go or some Hulu in there. So I had a few of them around the house. I also bought one for the kids, so there were actually 2 in the same room, which was a little excessive. But my original Xbox 360, it red ringed. I sent it back. They sent me, a replacement unit. That one red ringed. I sent it back. They sent me a replacement unit. In the meantime, I had bought an Elite when the Elite still was just a black version of the Inhale design, like that. That red ringed. I've seen a lot of red ringed Xbox 360s.
how long was the warranty on these?
They extended it out to, I think, 3 years.
Well, I think my Xbox 360 is sitting over there in the games shrine. I don't even use it anymore. But I'm definitely going to have to do something about it. More than likely, if things work out, I want to get myself a new SUV next month because it's income tax time, baby.
Yeah.
I want to get myself a new SUV, a bigger TV, you know, because I got a 40-inch here, which is okay. You know, I'm in an apartment. You can tell by the sound of Bebe's kids upstairs. But give me a bigger TV, SUV, and I'll probably go and grab myself an Xbox One. Just to have it. I might even grab a Wii U before they all sell out and it becomes a collector's item.
Yeah. I've been thinking about a new TV too. I have this PlayStation TV that I bought a few years ago. I got it at a real good discount. It's like a 3D
You actually
TV.
have that? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it worked
like
flawlessly.
PS3, right?
What's that?
It's made like the PS3?
Yeah, I guess it kind of matches the aesthetic.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's kind of flaking out on me. It kind of just like blacks out in the middle of a game, only for a second or two. But it's getting annoying enough that I want to get it replaced. And I bought a new office chair today. Jan bought me a new office chair today, and we were at, I don't remember the name of the place, Sam's Club, and I'm looking at all these badass TVs. I'm like, it might be time to upgrade. Get a nice 65-inch in the office. I think that would make the office look just that much better.
It screams professionalism, you know?
Yeah.
See, your office isn't hitting on shit unless you got a 60-inch.
Right. You know? Like, how can anybody take me seriously if I don't have a 60-inch TV in the office?
You know, I'm doing taxes on a 40-inch. Oh, get out of here. You know, it's got to be 60. The guys at my job told me that 60 inches was too big.
What?
I said, what the hell are you talking about?
You work with pussies.
Tell them again. Tell them again. Yeah, man. He said 60-inch. Man, you got to be back like you're in a movie theater watching that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
well, you know what? You go home and watch your floor model, okay? Because 60 inches are going to be mounted to the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Have you, any of you guys ever had terrible neighbors? I had to get up this morning and go upstairs and beat on their doors like a fucking cop. Check it out. Check it out. Last night, you know, Kate and I are in bed, sleep. We wake up this morning, I think it's 8 o'clock. And I swear it sounds like 5 people are standing above my bed running in a circle, okay? And like they've got Super Mario boots on or something, okay? And so I put the pillow back on top of my head and I'm going back to sleep. Kate couldn't sleep last night, so she took a sleeping pill. She wakes up like in a hysteria, like delusional. She said, is somebody knocking at the door? I said, no, that's those bastards upstairs. And so probably around maybe an hour or so later, I swear, they started beating just, it sounds like they're up there with sledgehammers just hitting the floor. I stood up on my bed and I did the power ring move that's on the cover of the He-Man movie. You know, I hit the ceiling as hard as I could. I thought my hand was going to go through the floor of their apartment. I hit it so hard, boom. And I knew it was super loud up there. And guess what? They didn't give a damn. They kept running. I said, oh, my God. So I go upstairs and knock on the door. And then all I know is, man, this chick had to be the most ghetto girl I've ever seen in my life. I want to give her a name. Let's call her Maquisha. Anyway, she came to the door, and she said, can I help you? I said, yes, I work third shift. Can you please calm down? What's going on up here? She said, they kids. What they supposed to do, sit down all day? I said, it's an apartment, not a jungle gym. Now I just went like this, and I went back downstairs.
Yeah.
This is insane. New neighbors from hell. I should go up there and strangle my office manager because she knew that this woman had 7 kids.
You know, I would really suggest a nice pair of in-ear headphones, you know, that block out that noise. Listen to a little bit of music, fall asleep. You listen to the Beastly Thoughts show while you drift off into slumber.
Oh, man. It's just insane, man. Some people are incredibly inconsiderate, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's just the way it is. And you can tell people who have that ghetto persona. I'm not a ghetto person. And so, you know, some people just do. They don't have any home training. You know, they don't know how to interact with people. You know?
They're not housebroken?
No. And every time, look, this is the 3rd time, right, the 3rd time I've been up there. They've only been here. How long have they been up there, babe? About a month? 3rd time I've been up there. And every time I knock, there's more children.
Well, next time you go, you got to bring one of those swords that are hanging on your wall. Just drag it behind you, like real casual, like.
By the time I get back down the stairs, there'll be 5 cops. Man,
it's just
I'm serious though. When she moved in, the office manager told me she has 4 children I said, okay, I got 4 kids. She said, okay. I went up there the first day. They were making incredible amounts of noise, and I knocked, and there were 7 of them.
Oh, Jesus.
And she said, there's 7 kids up here. I'm sorry. They just running back and forth. She doesn't have any furniture either. So I guess you really can't blame the kids. There's no couch to sit on.
Yeah, right.
Jeez. And they picked my bedroom as the playroom, the jungle gym. And it's just funny how things work out sometimes.
Maybe you got to invest in a couple more PS Vitas and send them up there as gifts. Get those kids sitting there.
She's laughing at you, Brian Rabbit. Oh man! So have you been? I know you've been enjoying Guacamelee, man. What do you think of your Vita so far?
I'm enjoying it. I actually put it down for about a week or so because I really got into. Well, I've been getting ready to play some Xbox One Call of Duty Ghosts. I want to kind of get used to that controller again. I want to get my aim on point. I've also been playing Super Motherload. I really, really like that game. It's so simple, but it's so addictive. It's kind of this cross between Dig Dug and Blaster Master, I would guess.
Oh wow!
And I'm really having fun with it. Yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with it. Wow. The great thing about it is there's enough of a story. There's enough of a story to kind of keep you wanting to see what the next thing that's going to happen in the story is, which I was surprised about because I thought I was just in store for kind of a simplistic puzzle game.
The game that's on PSN right now that's free for PlayStation Plus users that I haven't downloaded that I really want is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Oh, that's the one that's free. I downloaded Don't Starve. I didn't know that they had changed it already.
Well, Don't Starve is for PS4.
Oh, PS4, okay.
Brothers is on PS3, so you can just go right to your PS3, same account, go in there and grab it. And I've been meaning to do it, but I've been so busy. There's been so much going on. That's one I can't miss out on because they actually they mentioned this game. It was mentioned as potential Game of the Year material, and it's an over-the-head view kind of game. And they're 2 brothers. Oh wow, you got the white one, huh?
Yeah, I've been moving it back and forth. I brought it downstairs because I wanted to say, I want to have a Blu-ray player down there. But they've been releasing so many free games for it that I keep bringing it back up so I can play it.
So you got the white super slim. What other colors did they release that in?
I think they got blue. I want to say red. I know they got black. And they're coming out with another one, another even slimmer one.
I like the design of that thing, but I still wish it had an internal disk drive that ejected outside.
Yeah, I don't like this action.
I don't like that. Cheesy. It reminds me of the PlayStation 1, and you can just open it up and see all the innards.
I still got Black Ops 2 in it.
That's the only thing about that console that I don't like is their decision to make that. It's not slot loading. It's just open it up, pluck it out, stick it in, and it kind of it takes 5 steps back because the PS3, it was an internal disk drive that's slid out, and so that you look at that and you say, well, that's probably why it's so much cheaper because they take out so much of the little.
So much cheaper. This thing cost me $250.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I bought it this summer. Yeah.
Better go on eBay, brother. $250, man.
Yeah.
Put 2 of those together, that'll be my Xbox right there. Oh, I think okay. Let me relay a message. Son, your mother's outside. Oh, he's already at the door.
Oh.
Okay. Oh man. So, what else have you been hearing this week, man? There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. We covered a majority of it.
Yeah, Titanfall, the alpha is out there. It's under a really heavy NDA, but some people have been leaking videos out to YouTube. So if you're quick and you're diligent about looking for them, you can find them before they get nailed. The channels are actually getting pulled down when they release a video of Titanfall, and it's super low res. I think that the game is super low res, but man, that game looks like so much fun. I can't wait for it.
So what? These guys are actually, let me get this right. They're risking their channel just for a few seconds of footage of this game?
I've seen 2 videos, and both videos had 2 videos up. So I think that they're creating new channels just to throw the footage up because they know that it's going to get taken down.
It's kind of pointless. I actually have that alpha footage myself. I got all 7 minutes of it. 7 or 8 minutes. I wouldn't dare.
No. This isn't the video that
This
that
is
they
actually
released.
live stuff, right?
These are people playing the game in the alpha.
And it looks as entertaining as that alpha. I mean,
Yeah.
is it because of course the alpha footage was cut and it was put together piece by piece.
Right.
So when people are actually playing the game, you actually see them play. It's still just as fast paced.
It's fast. It looks like it's really fun though. I think a lot of the controversy about there being bots and only 6v6. I think. All right, so one of the videos I watched had voiceover, and the guy was complaining the whole time about how he's killing all the bots, but he's not running into players. And the other one didn't have voiceover at all. But when I was watching both videos, it looked like it was fast-paced. The characters move so quick that I think you're going to have a badass internet connection to be good at this game.
Wow.
But I mean, it looks like it's fast-paced. You get the big titans, and it slows it down a little bit, but you're getting shot at from all directions. It looks like a ton of fun.
See that what you just mentioned there, that's a red flag a little bit to me. That one of the actual players had an issue killing bots versus players. That and I know you have to understand where I'm coming from. It doesn't feel as good. It won't. I mean, he may have been talking about killing 5, 10 bots and can't find a player. And especially at the end of the game when the tally pops up on the screen, if they show how many bots you killed versus humans, and you see that you destroyed all the bots, and you may have killed 5 humans, but you may have been killed 20 times by humans, that's going to really affect your morale when you're playing that game.
Yeah.
Man,
I wonder if it's going to have long legs like a Call of Duty. It might be something that you play through, because the multiplayer is the story. It's like as you play through the multiplayer, you'll be getting the story. And I wonder if it's going to be a thing where you play through the game one time, you have a great time doing it, but there's no real reason to come back. It's not like you're constantly trying to improve at the game and test your skills because you just want to get a little bit better and a little bit better. Until finally your KD ratio finally hits 1.0 and then 1.5 and 2.0 like COD does. I don't know if it's going to be the COD killer that we really hoped it would, just because it's not going to be as competitive if you're just killing bot after bot. But the game still looks like a hell of a lot of fun, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell. Now, if the game is as good as I think it probably will, more than likely I'm going to grab it for my Xbox One or my PC. Now, I don't know if my PC is actually powerful enough to play it the way an Xbox One would. I don't think it is. I mean, it's playing the games that I'm playing now without any issue, but I know that Titanfall is graphically intensive, and it's probably going to, pull a lot of horsepower. It's a quad-core PC, and no, I'm not going to close it today. Quad-core
Who's the keyword?
Do you know who kept watching that video and laughing at me? She did. She said, "My poor baby, you are so silly." I said, "Oh God." Yeah, but more than likely, that'll be the game that'll be my deciding factor as of right now. I'm pretty sure that probably over the next 12 months, we're going to see Xbox One games that are must-haves, because Xbox has a hell of a catalog. They got some great games that came out last gen that looked almost like it shouldn't have been in last gen. It looked like it should have been coming out now. Like, I remember when Gears of War first came out.
Oh my God.
I didn't have an Xbox 360. I didn't have an Xbox 360. I had a PS3, and I looked at it and I was like, it looks so good, but I just can't see it. I can't let anybody know it looks amazing, right? And after a while, I just had to give in. I got my first Xbox 360 and got into it. They've got a great catalog of games that no one else has but them, and I think if they utilize it properly, and if they maximize their hardware, maximizing that hardware, because as long as every, Sony can say or people can say that the PS4 outshines it, that's always going to be an argument. If they can somehow maximize their hardware, maximize the gameplay, I mean, I don't think it's 1080p versus 720p is that big of a deal. I think 60 frames versus 30 is more of an issue personally.
That is, if a developer has a choice to make between, do we keep it at 1080p and let it run at a slower frame rate, or do we knock it down to 720 and let it run at a faster, I think it is clear that the answer needs to be 720p, 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
especially
because,
a multiplayer game.
Multiplayer FPSs, I mean, to me personally, especially if it's a multiplayer or first-person shooter, you're going to need that microsecond, to be able to make those decisions, because, your retina is sending information back to your neocortex in real time. It's
And
not
aiming is just the faster your frame rate, the easier it is to aim. When it's skipping around a lot,
Yeah.
you aim past where you're supposed to be, and then you have to come back, and you kind of almost have to center yourself. With a higher frame rate, you stop and you shoot.
Yeah. I think that especially games like Halo, which is we beat every Halo, Kate and I. She got me, really into the
Halo
later
4,
versions.
you got through Halo 4?
No.
No, I didn't either.
I think what's the last one we played, baby? Halo 3? Yeah, I think Halo 3 was the last one I actually played. But I think that when the next one comes out for this new generation, it'll be a must-have, and it'll probably be the poster child of what the Xbox One can do as far as power.
I'm gonna check it out. I don't have a whole lot of. Are your speakers on? I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm gonna check it out, but I don't have a lot of confidence in 343 Studios. They didn't impress me with Halo 4, and I was a big Halo fan. Halo 1 I played a ton of. Halo 2, Halo 3, even Halo Reach. But I played Halo 4, and the single player didn't interest me. The story just wasn't there, and the multiplayer I don't know. I just didn't dig it as much as the Bungie games.
Yeah, 343. When they took over, there was a lot of hoopla about the possibilities of what they were going to do. I never touched it, never once. The last one we played was Reach, I believe, and I had a great time with it. Now I think they're still at the helm of the Halo franchise, correct? 343.
343, yeah. Bungie moved on to Destiny.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the shit. Destiny is going to be what's up.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited about that game. I really am.
Yeah. Well, standing appointment. We'll bust through that game together. How about that?
Oh yeah, man. We got to get together anyway.
Yeah.
When's the next time you're playing Call of Duty? I'm gonna get on with you.
I don't know. When's this call ending?
Oh man, yeah. If you're gonna be on tonight, just shoot me a text and I'll jump in with you. Just so we can kind of get a feel of what we can expect in the future. I know I'll get destroyed by you, my friend, but you won't kill me every time. I'm the Beastly Gamer, man. You gotta know it. I'll tell you what. If you beat me in Call of Duty, then you gotta play me in Tekken. How about that?
I'm not bad at Tekken. I bet I'm not that good though. I used to be good. Tekken 2 was my high point.
Okay, Tekken 2 was the first one we really, really got into. Mm-hmm. And every Tekken game since. I didn't like 6 as much, but now I'm playing Tekken Tag Tournament 2 every now and then. I think I got like 45 matches under my belt, and I think I won like 38 of them, 39 of them.
Yeah, we played a ton of Tekken 2, and then Tekken 3 we played a lot of, but we fell out of the series with Tekken Tag. I was so excited because that was the first one for the PS2, and like we're gonna get all these upgraded graphics, but we fell out of the loop. So this actually brings me to a question I wanted to ask you today.
Good.
Your favorite games, right? You've got like these huge games in your life that they go back for years and years and years. Do you think that these were the best games of the time? Or do you think that who you played them with, when and where you were in your life, do you think that was why you loved them so much and that's why they have such a heavy nostalgia feel? Or was it these were the best games of all time? For me, Tekken 2 was not one of the best games of all time. I loved it, but it was mostly because I had a group of core people that would play it with me on the couch, and we'd beat at each other over and over, and we'd be beating each other on the controller, and then we'd be beating each other on the shoulder. It was just a lot of fun. And for Tekken, I don't hold the pretense that Tekken 2 was one of the best games of all time, but for me, it's one of my favorite games of all time, just because of who I was playing with and the situation we were doing it in.
Oh, that's a very loaded question. Now let me see. Personally, I think it's a couple of things. Definitely, that aspect is one, and it does ring true for me. I spent a lot of time with my older brother and my little cousins, Adam, Brandon, Joe. Shout out, guys! You're famous. Growing up in my teen years, Tekken 2 was a big part of that. All of us together and spending family time. That's really what it was. We spent a hell of a lot of family time together, getting to know each other beyond just seeing each other in passing, your mom coming over, my dad coming over. We spent hours and hours and days out of our lives together playing these games, getting good together with these games, spending valuable time, and especially as you get older and you don't get to see your family as much, those memories hold true. They do mean a lot. It's like if you move out of state and you have a family member that you grew up playing or someone you went to college with, you played games with them, and now you only talk to them once every few months. You think back to those times, and just for that feeling, it's like if you play a song that you grew up listening to, it'll bring back the feeling that you had as a child. Playing these games and hearing the intro themes to games like Soul Blade, which me and my older brother, we sat and watched probably 50 times. We rented it from Blockbuster, took it home that day, watched the opening trailer by Namco, and went the very next day and bought the game. These little moments, they do mean a lot, but it's not just that makes a game one of your favorites, or not me personally. Games like Final Fantasy VII, that game actually did do something to me. It didn't matter that I was home or my brother was around or anything like that. It actually changed me. It gave me a whole new experience. I was used to playing games like Mario or games that lacked a lot of depth, like Castlevania, hack and slash games, arcade games. And it was the first time, and I know that RPGs existed before then, but when like these RPGs came out on Super Nintendo or things of that nature, I wasn't really interested because of the way that it was presented, over the top view, and I wanted the future. I wanted games that look better. I got a Super Nintendo 16-bit. Come on, I don't want to see that crap, right? But when games like that came out, it really did change you. It's like it opens your mind up to the possibilities of what really can be. It's like if you know what a stereogram is, like the iTricks books, you open them up and you look at them and you actually learn how to view stereograms. It opens your mind up to the fact that you're not seeing things fully the way that they really are. And that's really, to me, what happens with some of these games. Mario 64 was another one. My brother just happened to be there, but playing that game, it really did do something to me. It opened my mind up to actually what real 3D gaming could be. Because before that, I played Doom.
Doom PC for me, that was a life-changing moment, Doom. I mean, I remember I was playing that on a computer with a joystick, and I remember the first time playing Doom, and like a monster would jump out, I'd be like, whoa! It's like, that never happened when I was playing Mario. And Mario never scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
I mean, you felt like it was so immersive an experience. Playing a first-person shooter for the first time, it was incredible. I'll never forget playing Doom for the first time.
That game is the first-person shooter I ever played, and I probably spent no less than 300 hours playing it. And I got it on PlayStation 1. It came out in the big giant box, and I wanted something different, okay? And I was 15 years old, and I went on and gave it a shot. I took it home, and it was another one of those life-changing moments. And that's why I say Mario 64 showed me what a 3D game could be. Doom was 3D, but it was on one level plane. There was no jumping, things of that nature. You felt like you were stuck to the ground. You're walking around in 3D. The gun would automatically shoot up at enemies if they were up on the ledge, so you didn't have to do too much. That game blew my mind when I was a teenager, and it let me know that I'd always be a first-person shooter lover. Definitely. But when I played games like Mario 64 and I felt the depth of what really 3D was, that you could actually move in this 3D environment, this 3D space, it's an artificial world that's so amazing, that made that experience so much better to me. It changed me. And every now and then, I think every generation, you might get a game or two like that. It's harder now because technology has come to this level that even bad games can appear good,
yeah, they look good, yeah.
And so it'll throw you off. You actually have to have the whole shebang nowadays, a whole new kind of experience to open up your mind to the possibilities of what the future can be. Games like The Last of Us did that for me too. When I played that game, I swear, Brad Rabbit, I thought about it literally for 3 weeks after I beat it. 3 weeks straight. It's like I'd be talking to somebody like, oh, this game I played last night, man, situation. I mean, I felt like a kid. I was talking to people like a maniac. Have you seen this game? I was at work selling it. Ferris, the guy Ferris, who I work with, I said, man, if you want a good game, you got to get this game. You went to, I took him to GameStop on lunch break, and he bought it. That game, I mean.
I will drive you there, man. I'll do it.
I would. I feel like if you haven't had this kind of experience before, then it's something you have to have. Games like BioShock Infinite, dealing with characters like Elizabeth, is a whole new kind of experience.
I was
because
impressed
usually
by Elizabeth. She seemed almost like a Disney level like character. I was really impressed by Elizabeth.
the young lady who voice acts her, she's pretty amazing too. She went on IGN a couple weeks ago and was talking with Greg Miller, and her personality, she's just a funny person. You know,
Yeah.
you can tell that's someone you'd actually love to be around. She's a hoot. Let's put it that way. But yeah, playing in a game like BioShock Infinite with a character like Elizabeth, is not just like you're on a quest and you're taking someone someplace, like in Resident Evil 4 when you got, what's her name, Shirley? I'm trying to remember. The president's daughter in Resident Evil 4 when you're Leon, and basically
Oh,
you're
jeez,
on
I
a
can't
mission,
remember.
and you're taking her, and she's not very helpful. This is not the case now with characters like Elizabeth. They'll help you get ammo. They'll find things for you. They'll sit and have conversations with you, kind of like Ellie in The Last of Us. I mean, the first time I was playing The Last of Us and I saw Ellie actually help me, I almost dropped the controller. I was like, this is too sick. You know, I was fighting some guy. She picked up a brick and threw it at the other guy. It just, I mean, to me, it harkens back to a couple of things. Some games are good because of the nostalgia it brings, and some games are good because they're just damn good. Some games really will change your outlook on what video gaming is, and some games you'll play just to go back in time, to relive that moment where you're with someone special. And
Some games you can't go back to though, like GoldenEye. Can't go back to that game.
Yeah.
That game controls like hell.
Oh man, what about the new one they came out on the PS3 with? Right?
I didn't even check it out. I heard it wasn't that good, so I didn't bother.
It was garbage. Yeah. Some games you really can't go back to because you've outgrown the mechanic.
Yeah.
GoldenEye is one of them.
The controls got literally evolved by Halo and dual sticks.
It's a whole new monster. Like me, sometimes I go back. I'm sure you do too. Like I love Castlevania. We all know Castlevania is not the best game ever, But Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, me and my older brother. The first time we played that, we played it together. And when he died, he handed me the controller.
Yeah, taking turns.
Hairball.
Well, I'll tell you, as a Castlevania fan, you really got to check out Guacamelee. That game is so much fun.
I'll definitely give it a shot.
The controls are deep. The jumping mechanics. There's literally combos you got to pull off mid-jump. It's just like, what kind of an insane bastard thought that this would be fun? And then it is fun, and you're like, how can this? This is amazing. The music is beautiful. I mean, it's got all those gameplay elements from Metroid. It's got all those gameplay elements from Castlevania, and it's pure fun. And it's just
when you play that
gorgeous.
game, as you get further into it, the controls actually get really complicated.
Yeah, you got to pull off combos to make jumps, and you got to pull off combos to fight enemies, and they're like, you gotta. I mean, your fingers are like all your fingers are working, but it never feels unfair. You always feel like it's instead of your character just becoming more and more powerful, you actually have to get better at the game to continue, and that's what's cool about it.
And you're playing it on PS3 and Vita, correct?
Yeah, I prefer it on PS3 because I find that the controls are a little easier. Yeah, I mean the PS Vita is basically an Iron Maiden from the Middle Ages to me. It's like it's designed to make your fingers like it's like a little. It's a Japanese finger torturer, is what it is.
I haven't had too many problems out of the Vita's control, but I haven't played Guacamelee. I actually like it. I like the D-pad. I like both analogs.
D-pad is nice. I like having both analogs, but I don't know how they'll be with a shooter. I don't know if there's enough sensitivity there. I ended up buying this case for it that has like triggers. Hold on, let me see if I put that up to the screen. See how it's got the triggers back there?
Oh, so it turns R1 and L1. It turns them into those.
Yeah, and which I like. It's more comfortable, and it gives a little bit more room for your hand to be there. But I like the system. It's designed for smaller hands than what I've got, though.
Yeah, I think we both have man hands.
Yeah, man, man hands, baby. These things are for real. This is
Real
no joke.
shit, baby.
These hands are no joke.
I think my hands are big. You see my feet.
You know what they say about a man with big feet.
Kate will say it live. No, she won't. She's cooking. Yeah, man, I wear size 14. They call me Bigfoot at work. Yeah, but hopefully I'll get more playtime with my Vita this week. Last week I was real busy at work. I'm going to go ahead and beat Soul Sacrifice. Brett, my 12-year-old, has officially given up on Zelda, so that's mine. So, I mean, I want to go ahead and beat this first. I'm also in the middle of Slender, which scares Briar Rabbit. Man, that game scares the hell out of me, I swear. It really does. Never have I played a game that when you see this thing, you literally get shivers. It screws me over, man. When it comes out on consoles, you got to play it. It's just really, really, it's the atmosphere. They use this atmospheric music, and then when this guy, he'll appear right in front of you, too, and he doesn't do anything to you, but if he gets close to you, it's game over, basically.
You know, I've got Windows installed on my Mac as in a boot camp, so I could technically sully my Macintosh with a Windows game if you really think it's worth it.
I do. I think you should give Slender at least a shot. I mean, we sat last night and watched a crappy-ass 2-hour-long Slender Man movie on YouTube that was terrible, but we watched it because we like the game so much.
Yeah?
It's really scary. I think you should give it a shot.
All right. I might do that.
Do it for me. Do it for me, Brian.
Can I make a screaming video where I sit there and just scream like a little girl? I'll actually get like a voiceover.
This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. Make a video of Jan's reaction to it.
That's a better idea.
Because I'm telling you right now, that would scare the crap out of her.
She just gets views because when she's in the video, there's something to look at besides me.
That's why I want her in more videos. I'm a big ugly black guy.
Yeah.
You know, she's a pretty blonde. Come on.
As a bearded American,
yes.
I want to say.
I'm getting mine back too, Brian.
I see that.
Yeah, we took the kids bowling. That's why I got my, professional attire on.
That's your bowling hat?
Yeah, this man, come on. I don't even know how to bowl, but when I go out in public, I try to look like, hey, I'm a grown man, because in today's society, young black guys got pants on that come to the back of their kneecaps, and a shirt that comes to their sock, and a baseball cap that's on like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you hit a certain age, you got to dress like a man.
Yeah, nobody's beating those kids in poop races, though. If they got a shit, they can do it fast. Like, real fast.
Oh, man. I mean, look, man, here I am, right? I'm 34 years old. I see these guys, they're in their 20s. And there's actually one of them who works with me. He's a good friend of mine, but, I mean, he's the same age as me, so I can't tell him anything. He has kids, too. But I went inside a gas station one day, and there was a guy standing in front of me, and he had his pants hanging off his ass.
Yeah.
And I was like, God.
How do they stay where they're at? There's nothing.
I don't know. I swear, man. There was a guy walking inside Quick Trip the day before yesterday. I pulled up to go get myself an energy drink. He was walking all slow.
Yeah. They can't walk fast. His pants fall right off.
And the pants, I swear, it looked like the wind blew. They fly down to his ankles, but they stayed up. And out of frustration, I don't know if it's more frustration or awe that I have. I'm frustrated that these idiots are wearing this shit, but I'm in awe that the pants are staying up.
I can't stand when there's 4 of them walking in a row down at the mall because I can't get around them. And they're walking at like a quarter mile an hour. They keep their pants up, I think.
This guy inside the gas station, I'm a pretty big guy, okay? He was standing.
You got size 14 feet.
I'm big all around. This guy, he was standing in front of me, and I came in there behind him, and I had my work get up on, the Beastly jacket and stuff, and I'm standing behind him, and all I see is it was neon pink. That's the only color I could say his underwear were. These guys have underwear on, right? They were like pinkish purple drawers on, right? And I'm standing behind this guy, and of course I'm getting pissed off because you're a grown man. You're supposed to know. And so I said, I kind of let out a breath of disgust, and he turned around and looked at me. He said, "What's up?" I said, "Man, you need to borrow my belt." He smiled.
You should have told him, "Man, you got a shit stain. You should have wiped your ass better."
Yeah, I said shit like that. And he kind of smiled and pulled his pants up, and then he just walked out. But there was another guy. I was taking Kate to the doctor in Ohio when we lived there, and this is a guy. It was a black guy and a white guy, but believe it or not, it was the white guy who was sagging his pants.
Yeah, man.
And I walked in there. I was like, "Oh God." We were going to the doctor.
Bad taste is biracial.
Yeah, it sure fucking is. And on the way out, I had my daughter Nova with me. I said, "See, Nova," I said, "he needs a belt," and she said, "Ooh, Daddy, he needs a belt." And he kind of looked at us and smiled. People are so stupid. These styles, I'm telling you right now, the style of sagging has got to be the worst thing that ever happened to America. Period. Some schools, my son told me yesterday. We were talking about this yesterday. He said their school, if you're caught sagging, they will zip tie your pants up on your waist. The principal will. So you'll get zip tied, which I think is great. You know, make an example of these idiots. They don't know that it's actually a prison. It came from prisons, and when people sagged their pants in prisons, it meant they were available to be made into a bitch.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where it came from. It's a prison ideology, and it came out because you know these rappers nowadays, they rap about going to jail like it's going to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys go to jail and get raped and come out and teach our kids how to dress.
My kids started pulling their black socks up all the way up their calves. And I was like, you know, that looks a little weird. You look like a 6-year-old man, you know, wearing sandals and your black socks pulled up. So I do photo shoots. It's like my second job is I shoot pictures like sports photography for you know, like little leagues and stuff. And I go to one of the photo shoots, and it's the first one for basketball that I did all year. And every kid has his black socks or brightly colored socks pulled up. I'm like, oh, okay, that's
must be the new style.
You know, when I was a kid, like it was the no see-ums. You know, you didn't want to see your socks at all.
Yeah,
but I also remember, like when I was a really little kid, they had like the way high, knee-high socks with the stripes around them. So sock technology is changing.
The red rings going around them, or yellow or blue. Yeah,
you got to stay up with the sock technology.
One thing I just, you know, I prefer to stay on them and hopefully imprint some positivity on them because these fads change so much.
Yeah.
But I think probably the best era of dressing was the 70s.
Oh yeah, bell bottoms, man.
I love Kate to wear them, but I think she thinks it's way past her era. I think bell bottoms on women were sexy as hell. You know?
I mean,
oh my goodness.
I'm the right woman. Basically, anything is sexy as hell.
Oh man, this is fun, Brian Rabbit.
I like
right, guys.
I like the 70s. That was my favorite.
See, I tried to do it right, but I'm 1/4 Indian, Cherokee Indian, and my hair grows straight. So it's
really?
like yeah, it grows straight and it looks like a porcupine.
Afros were my favorite. Afro Thunder from what was that boxing game for the Dreamcast?
Ready to Rumble?
I picked him every time.
Ready to Rumble.
There's only one dude with an afro here. That's the dude I'm picking.
or Tiger from Tekken, right?
I don't remember.
Eddie, his
oh yeah, Eddie. Yep.
Yeah, Tiger was his alternate, and he had the big afro, and he had the bell bottoms and stuff. Tekken 2
always
and Tekken
go
3.
with the afro.
Always go with the pro.
Yeah.
Pro knows best. Oh man.
So we got anything else we want to talk about? Should we wrap this one up?
I'm looking. I mean, there's been some other things that are going on, but I guess that'll probably be about it for today.
All right.
Hey guys, if you guys like the channel, be sure to leave a comment. Let me or Brian Rabbit know what kind of topics you'd like to see us cover in the future. And if you want to be a guest on Beastly Thoughts, just leave a comment in the comment section below.
That's right.
Because we like to have new blood in here. We like to have new ideas on the show. And we like, you know, to have people to sit and converse and go back and forth with. Because, you know, we don't want you guys to get bored with just me and Brian Rabbit, even though I know we're great.
And humble.
Yeah. What's that word? What's that word? Okay. Yeah, but definitely, guys, leave a comment down in the comment section. Let us know, you know, topics you'd like to see us cover. If you got any ideas for the show, leave it in the comment section. And definitely, if you guys want to be a part of this and you guys are able to get on Google Hangouts, leave Brian Rabbit a comment or leave me a comment. Let us know, and we'll have you on next Sunday at 6.
That's right. Hey, one of our commenters has an afro.
Oh, well, good shit, brother. I might do a new giveaway and send out a pic. Stick right up top.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Beastly Gamer, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.